I'm debating breaking up with a friend.
Not me, right?
It's you. You're actually awful to me and I quit. Hi, I'm Miguel.
Hi, I'm Aurora.
And this is Age Gap, a podcast. Two best friends, 10 years apart. Okay, girl, we have no time to waste. I've been pondering, I've been thinking, and I need your advice.
Got you.
Which is why I've summoned you today.
Oh.
So, I'm debating breaking up with a friend.
Not me, right? You're not going to do this live.
No,
you're not going to do it in this video, right?
Actually, you know what? We need to talk. We need to talk.
Don't do that to me.
I've been thinking, it's not me. It's you. It's not me. It's absolutely you.
It's you. You're a mess. You're terrible. Get out of my life.
You're actually awful to me and I quit.
He's about to break up with me, y'all.
No, being so serious though, I think I need to break up with one of my friends.
Okay.
Well, I'm having a hard time because this is one of my friends that I've known for a very, very long time.
Oh,
but
this is serious.
This is serious. The more that I ponder over my friendship, the more I realize that I think we're just friends because I have attachment issues and not because this is somebody a person that I am compatible with.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how to approach that situation because I personally am the kind of person that holds on for dear life. I want to find a solution.
That's true. I know.
Hey,
I know. Sorry, not to perceive.
This is very vulnerable for me.
Not to perceive, but yeah, you are. It's a good thing. It's a good quality.
Yes.
I think it's better than. Anyways, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Yes, but I was really thinking about it because I was like, I think the reason that I'm finding so much discomfort in this friendship now is that as we grow as people, there are more and more things that I consider to be a red flag. There's more and more things that I'm like, this is a non-negotiable for me in a friendship, and you are showing me that you have these qualities, or you're showing me that you are this kind of person that me at my big age now, making new friends, I would not tolerate. I would not approach this person to be my friend if I met them now, but because there's so much history, I want to hold on so tightly.
Ugh. All right. Listen, I love that you came to me for advice. I feel very sage right now. Like I am the elder, like I am here for you. Relationships, and I mean friendships and romantic relationships, that is the same thing to me. Obviously one involves the sexy time and the other one, maybe a different type of bond, but it's all about communication. Like everything that you just said to me and to the internet, if that friend is
if you're watching this,
if you're watching it, it is about you.
If the shoe fits.
No, for me, it's just about communication. The first thing you do is hey, we need to talk. Well, because you don't know what's going on all the time. What have they gone through that maybe they haven't opened up to you yet, or they're afraid to open up about, or their grievances about things that are going on in the way that they're growing. I'm not saying that you have to be there as they grow as a person, but what if they just entered therapy? What if you have this conversation and they're like, yes, I understand. Give me a year and we can reconnect. There are so many reasons why you could be feeling this the same way you would in a romantic relationship breakup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm following.
Yeah, that's the advice I would give. Would I personally do that?
Different in story.
I'm so bad at it. But we'll get to that. So how do you feel about talking to your friend? How do you feel about talking to your friend as if they were some sort of romantic relationship? Because I know you. I know when you're in a romantic situation that you have no problem opening up to your partner. Why do you feel like you need advice opening up to a friend?
Ooh, girl. Now I feel like I entered therapy. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't think I want to talk. I am not in an era where I want to force any type of friendship. I think that's part of my healing as a human, and the way that I show up in friendships is I'm trying to be more mindful about not forcing things and not giving people the benefit of the doubt, because I am guilty of giving people the benefit of the doubt once and twice three and four times. So it's getting to, no
judgment.
I give people,
again, I think it's a good quality.
No, and it's I don't want to be, thank you. I don't want to be the kind of person that's you know what, you screwed me over and I'm not doing this anymore. Like I don't want to be a hater either. I don't want to be so strict about my boundaries that I don't allow room for growth or allow any type of grace, but you can only give a person grace so many times before you just got to cut them loose. And I think I'm not in a position where I can keep trying. And it might have something to do with the fact that I live so far away and that I'm not with this person all the time. So it doesn't even really feel like I'm super involved in their life or like they're super involved in mine. But when I do connect with them, it's more draining than it is fulfilling.
Okay. So that right there tells me that you're already at the point where you don't want the friendship at all. This isn't even about a breakup, it's about a letting go. And maybe that's what's getting to you because maybe the lack of wanting to communicate is what's freaking you out. Because that's exactly how I let go of friendships that don't serve me. I grew up with a grandmother who looked me in the face and told me every year that a friend is a penny in your pocket until you find a quarter.
Okay, grandma.
So to me, when I was growing up, what that meant was pennies are expendable almost, like get rid of it if it doesn't serve you. And unfortunately, I brought that into my adulthood. So when a friendship doesn't serve me anymore, I just kind of let it dwindle out. I kind of just let it go, because for me, for me, if this friendship is causing you any turmoil, it may be causing the other person turmoil too. And they might be in the same place, but it's harder for them to dissect what the relationship means. It also could mean they just don't give a fuck. Like maybe they're just like, whatever. Like it's a friendship, maybe it's not a friendship. So letting go, if you like stop talking to them, they'll just stop talking to you. And that's the end of that.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the case. I really think that this person is a bit oblivious to it. It's kind of unfortunate because in the past when I've had beef with like my best friend, for example, shout out Michaela, love you girl. We've gone through periods of we're not as close right now. We're just not going to talk too much. We have had the big serious conversation of, hey, listen, you're pissing me off. I cannot be a good friend to you right now. So I'm going to have to walk away. And we've taken periods of time where it's like, we didn't talk for 8 months. And then after the 8 months, it was like, no, having that space and time has shown me you are actually somebody who I value a lot. We're just going to have to get over it. We're going to have to get over it. We're going to have to grow. And that space worked. It served its purpose. I don't trust that every friend will be receptive to it, that would work with every friendship.
I know that I measure my friendships differently. I just started putting effort into my relationships outside my family and romantic relationships. I've been working very hard to put effort into keeping friendships because again I grew up in a way that maybe they didn't mean as much. I'm Puerto Rican, okay? My family was always first. It's familia, familia, familia. It was always that way. My cousins came first. They were the people that I hung out with. Like everybody else was just like side pieces. And finally now, because you brought up Michaela and that's your best friend and my best friend is the same way, and we have fought before. We have fought before, we have cried together, and there are moments where we didn't live near each other and we had to make a super effort to just try to see each other like twice a year. And now that person is my family. And I said that about you as well. Like, you're my family. So that is how I categorize it. To me, if a friendship really is worth it and you're going to put the effort in, like you did with Michaela, like Michaela did for you, that's not just a friend. That's a person you're going to have in your life forever. And it's okay to put them in different categories. Like, to me, when I see you and Michaela, I don't think, oh, that's your bestie. That's your sister. Like, that's someone who matters.
Absolutely.
That's the effort. That's what you were showing. And that's why you're like, oh, that person's not worth the effort. No, it's not that they're not worth the effort. It's that they don't fit into the category that you can put the effort in. You're only one human. You are only one person. That's what I think. IMO.
I'm realizing that in your 20s, I'm realizing a lot in my 20s. I can feel my brain developing.
Yes.
And I just genuinely have had to demote so many friends because I've said this before. I'm a hoe with a lot of best friends. Or I used to be. I used to be the kind of person to be like, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. I'm everybody's best friend. I'm starting to get very selective and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to look at somebody that you really love and that you have incredible memories with and think, I really, you were up here, but you're down here now. And I said this recently in a TikTok, I'm a much better best friend than I am a regular friend. I'm a lot more consistent with my best friends. I'm a lot more myself, whereas I can be friendly with just about anybody, or I can be somebody's friend, but like I'm not going to be your best friend. I'm not going to be that maybe as good as somebody would want me to be. Realizing that those best friends are actually not people I want to put too much effort into makes me feel a little guilty. And I've had to unpack that because I don't want to disappoint anybody, but at the same time it's like I also can't keep being disappointed. Like I gotta put me first.
That is so life. And why are we worrying about people that we're not putting in the spaces that we want to put the effort? Like, why are we worrying about, yes, like we have memories and that's beautiful. And those don't disappear just because we're not friends anymore. Those don't disappear because you go away. Because if that was the case, then when people pass away, that's it. That's done. Like, why are we putting that in our heads that, oh yeah, we have a lot of memories, so we need to keep this so that we can keep our memories? Question mark? No. I can have a beautiful friendship with someone and keep that with me for the rest of my life. Like that could be still important to who I am as a person, to who I turn into, and I'm thankful for anything that we share. But it doesn't mean I have to sacrifice the well-being of my other relationships because that's what you're doing. When you just said to me, when you were like, "Oh my God, I don't want to disappoint them." Well, you're going to be disappointing Michaela if you take away her time for someone that doesn't matter as much. And it's not they don't matter as much as a person. They just don't matter as much for you. And someone else they will matter more. There's someone's Michaela. You know what I mean? There's someone's my bestie. Like
Yes. You know, the thing is, girl, I think, and it goes back to I have my best friend, but sometimes other people would consider me their best friend.
why does it matter that someone labels you their best friend and that you don't label them that? Like, why does that matter to you, what they choose to call you?
Because I think that's where that expectation lies, right? Like when I say that I'm a better best friend, I mean that if I'm calling you my best friend, it's probably because I also consider you my best friend, right? Like between you and I, we see our relationship and value our relationship equally. I start to feel a little guilty and I start to feel like I'm going to disappoint some people if I can tell that they value me more than I feel like I value them. And that's where that imbalance gets uncomfortable because I feel the need to maybe pull back a little bit, or maybe not even pull back, but
I think we might differ here because I don't mind if someone puts me in a place that makes them feel good about it. I have a friend who in the hierarchy of our friendship, like they put me in a higher place than I put them in my world. I still love them and they're still my friend and I put effort into them because I know that the relationship matters to them and me. But to again take away from my best friend by pretending that this other person is at that level is silly willy.
silly Willy.
When I was younger, when I was in middle school, I hung out with these two girls. And these two girls were literally best friends, like best friends. And I happened to hang out with them. Now, back in my day, we used like AIM, which is a messenger for those who don't know. And in your profile on AIM, you can put like, who your besties are by putting their initials. So I had a list of my little besties and I put those girls on there. One of the girls messaged me and was like, "Can you please remove us from your best friend list? Because, like, we're best friends together. We're not best friends with you." And I thought that was weird because
That's childish.
well, we were in middle school.
Well, obviously, it was middle school. Right.
So,
you were in middle school, but girl, even in middle school, I'll
right,
slap you. What?
right. But to me, I was like, was that necessary? Because I didn't put them really in that pedestal either. They were just people that I hung out with the most. Like they weren't my best friend either. Just because I give like a cute little label doesn't mean that that label means the same thing to you and I. So while you are talking about like, well, if I put you in the category of best friend, that means this, and this, maybe you should ask them when they call you best friend what that means to them. Because maybe you're thinking like that it means a lot more because it means a lot more to you. So maybe you won't feel as bad.
Right.
If you understand the dynamic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does make sense. I feel like that eases me a little bit because I think I'm so anxious when it comes to relationships. I'm so anxious when it comes to treating people the way that I think that they deserve to be treated and showing up for them in a way that is like meaningful to them. But once I'm in a position where this is not working out. I don't see a world or a time in the near future where I plan on putting as much effort as maybe it would take to keep this relationship going. Now, how to have that conversation at my big age, I'm little. At my age, at my current age, is a little awkward. It's a little awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward.
It's a little awkward.
No, it's absolutely awkward, but most things that do cause transition in life are awkward. I'm just
Transition.
sorry.
Lisa. No, you're fine.
But
You're fine.
I think I've gone through that stage of what I was going through when my brain was growing for relationships. Now I'm at the stage of I'm human and trying every day, every second of my life to be happy or comfortable is going to ruin the experience. I've come to the conclusion that I am in life and I need to be living it. And I'm going to miss every second if I'm worried about being uncomfortable. That's when people are like, when you.
I'm going to hang up the phone now.
Bye.
I feel cold
Did
now.
we close the gap? No. I just, no,
It's closed. It's actually over.
Really. That's where I'm at. And it's so funny because I know, obviously we're two different people, so I don't know exactly what you're feeling, but I know that anxious, almost anxiety of having to take away someone's happiness, because I think that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It really does boil down to we're growing apart, and I can see that. I'm almost nervous that this person can't.
Yeah, they might not see it.
Right. And I understand that I'm going to have to be the bad guy. With this friend in particular, it's also a little awkward because we share one big friend group. And
oh, not me knowing who it is now. That helped.
Yeah, you definitely know who it is. But ultimately, it's like, it's peace and love, but I cannot be the person that maybe I've been leading up to this point. Maybe it's just got to be a subtle phase out. Maybe it's a conversation that we have eventually.
I mean, again, as you get older, like you're gonna be in spaces with people that you don't particularly like, or people that you just like don't care that they're there. And this might be one of those situations. That's why the fizzle out really works for me. And again, I think it's a huge red flag, but I think it does work because even if we're ever in a space again, we can still be comfortable. And you're not a bad guy. Like, that's not a bad thing to want to open up to someone that you have cared about. Like, that's not a bad thing at all. I hate when people are like, oh, communicating something like that makes me a bad. No, it doesn't make you a bad guy. It makes you someone who actually cared about this relationship. This relationship impacted me. It did matter to me. It will continue to matter to me as something that I look back on, but it no longer matters to me in a way that we can continue. And that needs to be okay.
Yeah, girl.
I think you're afraid of the reaction and the fallout. Because when you say it's a group of people, the fallout, because all the other friends, everybody's going to get into it. They're all going to be like, well, why? Well, this, and they're going to make up their own perceptions. Like, are you afraid of the fallout, not the breakup?
Maybe I shouldn't have summoned you
Is it too much?
I'm gonna go to bed.
I had good caffeine today, okay?
No, it's valid. No, it really is that. It's so, when it comes to having a big friend group, it can feel so high school. Sometimes, even though we're all adults and we're all smart people, we're mostly emotionally regulated. And obviously, it's not going to be as big of a deal as it may have been when we were actual children. But yeah, there is a sense of, I don't have the time. I don't think I have the energy to deal with the fallout.
Flip your phone over.
It's going to have to be a flip the phone and
Just
fizzle out. I feel like it's going to have to be a, hey, fizz and flip.
You had 2 puberties. Like,
too many. One too many. If I had a nickel.
You had to deal with the changes of life a lot more than maybe the average person. And that is not something you should compromise. And what I mean by that is if the friend next to you has an opinion or says some out-of-pocket shit and you go, that's not who I am. I don't agree with that. But you're agreeing because you're like, oh, we're sitting here and that's my friend. I think that's what starts to get really weird. That you are sacrificing all of the great things that you've become and what you've done for the sake of the love of the person across from you. So for a really long time, I was doing really well in my life. I was drinking less and I was, connecting with different people and I was growing as a human being. My whole life changed. And when I got back into hanging out with this person, it's like I reverted. I went straight back into the person I was so
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to be. A
That's what
person
it
that was
is.
drinking more, agreeing with things, turning into things, just the toxicity that I had graduated from, that still is me. Because remember, you can change and you can grow, but it's because you're putting up things that help you get through it. I meditate and, I stop drinking and so on and so forth. But when you take away the meditation and you put the alcohol back in, you do those things and then you put yourself with a friend that is almost accepting of those negative traits of yours, you go right back into that.
Yes. You start to lose it. That's what it is. That's you just hit the nail on the head.
We are not compromising who we are and the better people we are becoming. No, we don't do that here.
I feel like I regress when I'm around this person. I feel like and not even just being around them, because there's a healthy type of regression where maybe I hang out with my sister, for example, and we start playing The Sims again and we start doing the things that we did as kids, and it's kind of like a healing situation. I regress in a way that is toxic to me. Suddenly, I'm side-eyeing. I'm talking shit. I'm and making all these faces and concerning myself about a life that really it's none of my business. Like, if you're going through your messy era, all power to you. Wish you the best. Wish you the absolute best of luck. But I don't like what that triggers in me. I don't like that it brings up these feelings of acting like a petty schoolgirl, behaving the way I did when I was 18, 19, 16, 17.
Mine was purely just being a catty bitch. That's what I regress into when I was hanging out with that person.
Right.
Ugh, gross. Oh, it's
And that's so embarrassing. I can't be a
You
man
just
and be
can't.
catty. I can't be a catty man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So in my situation, I did talk to the person. They were under the impression that we were just going to bounce back from all the terrible things that happen, which is what we used to do, which is where, that regression comes from. We'd have a terrible night of drinking, some bad stuff would happen, and the next day it'd be like it didn't happen. And I was like, I'm not doing that ever again. I am making sure I work on myself. I'm getting into therapy again. I'm working with every good thing that I have to continue to be the person that I'm trying to be. And I had to say that, and I had to put a boundary out. And it was upsetting because the boundary was met with the cattiness that I'm literally trying to get away from. But it is what it is. How they react is, not really our problem. What is our problem is how we are when we are with them. And if we are not in a space where we can be better, then you need to cut them out or take a break. And I told myself once I reached like a year of sobriety that I would, connect with them again. And it ended up that wasn't enough time for me. And I don't know if there will be a point where it ever is enough time.
I've been unpacking a lot. This conversation has had me thinking about like my non-negotiables in friendships. I've been thinking about that a lot. So I want to see where we have some differences, because I wonder if they're any different maybe in your 30s than they are in their 20s. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. If you're racist, if you're phobic, if I ask you who you voted for in the election and you don't tell me exactly what I want to hear, sorry, not happening. You got to go.
Bye. See you later.
If you are none of those things, but your partner is,
Ugh. No, then you are.
Gotta
Association
go.
matters.
You are.
Association matters. I'm sorry. If you're okay with it, you are on the sidelines and you're giving it justice. That's what you're doing.
Yes, you are. If you are phobic, if your partner is phobic, you are phobic by association. I don't want anything to do with you. I think you're weirdo, and I am talking shit. Because obviously I think we can agree on like the basics, but I was curious if you had any specific ones.
Oh, I think one of the top ones for me, again, as I am getting older, is the understanding of meeting someone where they're at. That is a huge thing for me. I need that from my friendships, and I need that from myself to be a friend. Meeting someone where they're at, knowing who they are as a person, and understanding that I'm okay with that. Basically, like as an example, I have a really good friend, and she is a selfish human being. She is very just in herself. Like everything is about her. She gets angry if it's not about her. But the thing is, she's also a really good friend and a sweetheart and actually super caring. She can think about others when it's important, But at the end of the day, I want to keep that friendship. And what I have to do is meet her where she's at. I have to understand and acknowledge that she is this type of person, and that's okay.
I get that. I came up with a list. Zoom in on my list.
A whole list? All right, let me think.
I do have a whole list. I'm trying to be wiser. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. I'm trying to learn from my past and the friendships that I've lost because, again, I take any type of separation very seriously. Like I really, or not seriously, I take it to heart. And even though I am the type of person to leave the door open, if you're ever going to come back, I need to be aware of what it was that caused that separation in the first place. That way, second time around, if I start seeing those signs, I'm like, you know what? Maybe you do have to be demoted. The first one, if the friend is in a perpetual crisis, can't do it. Like having a friend who is constantly in crisis stresses me out. I don't have the bandwidth for it. I can't do it. I understand, if it's something outside yourself or something like, I don't know, dude, your dog died and then you lost your job and something like that. Right. If it's a tough life and it's something outside of your circumstances, but if you are the kind of person that is constantly creating chaos,
like drama zone. You just don't want to deal with the drama. Like 24/7 drama.
24/7. If I talk to you every week and every week you're calling me and you're like, I can't.
Non-negotiable for me, having your romantic relationship be all you talk about, all you think about, all you care about over every single other relationship that you have in your life. I think if you're married, that can be your significant other and that could be the person that's in the top of your life, but I don't want it to be your entire life. I need there to be other relationships that you prioritize, respect, and treat with dignity, not just your romantic one.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And do I have a story for you? I fully have cut a friend off. Honestly, that story is far too long. You already know the story. I can't give that much tea on the podcast, but I have definitely cut off a friend because they were constantly putting their romantic endeavors or pursuits or relationships or situationships over our friendship. And my thing is, if that's the kind of person that you are, I can recognize it, right? And to an extent, I'll be like, you know what? That's just you. That's cool. But if it starts to affect our friendship and it's starting to hurt this dynamic that we have, I can't do it. And then if I call you out on it and you're still like, but I'm going to change, and then you don't change, can't do it. Nope.
I think we need to give grace to some people.
There's layers to it because if you're in the honeymoon phase, I get it. Girl, go be with your man, go be with your girl, go be with your person. But we're a year or two deep into this relationship, or you're a year or two deep into this relationship and you still cannot make time for your friends because you got to be with your pookie butt all the time. That's irritating. I'm irritated.
It's a red flag because it means that you don't know how to give people time. Like, you can't give people time. That's a red flag to me, and that's weird. And I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody like that. So yeah, that's a big one.
Another red flag, another non-negotiable. If I am your token friend, if you don't have any black friends, if you don't have any Asian friends, if you don't have any Latino friends, if you don't have any friends outside of whatever group you are a part of, you gotta go. You gotta go. Spooky.
Unless they are like newly in that. Let's say if they just came out as gay or they just realized they're trans or whatever it is, that's okay. Because maybe, you're trying your best to get through it. But if you go through that for like 2 years and you're still only hanging out with cis people or whatever it is, white people, whatever your little echo chamber is, then yeah, you got to go because you learn nothing.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That one is low-key very targeted towards white people. If you don't have friends of color,
that's weird.
I'm not going to be the first one. I don't want to be the first one.
And I don't want to deal with your racism. That's like, I don't want to sit there. And also I don't want to educate. Like, I'm not going to sit here and educate you. Like, I'm not going to sit there, you say something racist and be like, that's racist. No, sweetie, you should know. Get out.
Right. And I feel like most of the times it's microaggressions and it's little things that make me really uncomfortable. Obviously, microaggressions are going to make us uncomfortable. But I've noticed that with some white people, when they don't have any friends of color, they tend to think that they're the baddest bitch in the room. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you are not the baddest bitch in the room. You don't know anything outside of this world. Why are you scared? Why are you acting weird? Why do you not want to try the food? Like, those little things.
The trying the food, I had a white friend. I need to get this out real fast. I'm so
No,
sorry.
no,
Because it's like,
give it to
it's
me.
here. It's here. So I had this white friend and we went to a trip to Korea. Mind you, this girl left me in Korea for her man. So that just like ticked off the first thing I said. But second of all, we went out to eat and homegirl couldn't fathom like sauces and this like spiciness and like eating crab in a different way. Like my friend and I, who I like, my bestie and I were flabbergasted. I was like, why are you here? Because you listen to K-pop once? Like, get out of my face. Like, we're traveling, we're gonna eat, and I understand if you're a picky eater or maybe your stomach doesn't do well with certain foods, spicy foods, but do not sit at every single restaurant and be like skeeved out about the things that we're about to indulge in. Like, weirdo behavior. Why did you
Right.
waste the money?
If
Why are you here?
I agree, I absolutely agree. I'm sorry if my mom cooks something for you and you don't try it, red flag. And you know, if you have allergies, if you have this, that, whatever, obviously,
Yeah, it's different.
obviously.
Yeah.
But if you stare, and this has happened to me, if I had a nickel, this has happened to me more than once.
I had a nickel.
If this has happened to me more than once. I've had two friends look at the food that my mom cooks and look at it like, oh, what is that?
No,
Girl, you
there's
eat
no
chicken
way.
pot pies. You eat
Your
meatloaf.
mother-
And my thing is always meatloaf. You eat meatloaf on purpose.
That's gross.
And you're looking
But,
at
like, not as judging, but no,
I'm a
my
hater
issue
to my core.
Okay, my biggest thing about that is that's insane because your mother literally makes restaurant quality food. So get out of my face. Like, get out of my face. What do you mean?
My point.
That was wild. That was wild. Anyways,
But and
okay.
I think and there is a point to what you're saying. If you haven't had access to those spaces, if maybe you haven't been around too many people outside of insert whatever it is that you are, I get it. I've been there. Like when I moved back to the US, obviously I lived in Venezuela. I just had Venezuelan friends, but it's weird to me if in adulthood you're telling me you've never attempted to make friends outside of your race, or like you've never clicked with somebody, it's just a little bit weird to me. Because again, if you just moved to the US, okay, you're probably gonna go, like if you're Venezuelan and just immigrated here, I believe you're gonna have more Venezuelan friends than anything. But if you stay in that bubble and there's like a reluctance to even try to get outside of it, you're a little spooky to me.
I also will go into, because obviously I'm a light skinned person of color. Like, I'm light, so most people assume that I'm white.
Right, yeah.
I always go into a space with like another white person and I just kind of put it out there. I'm like, yeah, our internalized racism. And if they look at me sideways, if they look at me
Call it out.
sideways, yeah, I'm like, huh?
Mhm.
Because and it's funny because I always include myself because again, I am a light skinned person. So I do walk the world of white privilege. So I'll put it out there. I'm like, yeah. And if they look at me at all sideways, if they don't agree right away, if they're not like, yup, I'm working on it now. Yup, I have this book I can recommend. Hey,
Right.
if they're not initially into the conversation of how they're trying to become better, then yeah, no, there's no effort there. Get out of my
Right.
face.
And I'm not gonna. I got a hot take. I find it very obvious when somebody has a token blank friend. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're, I can tell if somebody feels really cool because they have one Latino friend, or I can tell if they think they're really cool because they have one black friend, and suddenly it's like they are the epitome of an ally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, maybe your heart is in the right place, but that is still a microaggression. And if you are not self-aware to that, and I don't see any intention to get woke,
It's if you only
gotta
have
go.
yeah, if you only have one POC friend, that probably wasn't your choice. It was probably their choice because you didn't go out seeking them. They probably, was like, oh, I like this person. Let's be friends. Because it's so natural to just have completely different people as friends. And I mean that in ethnicities. Like it's just so hello, we're in America. It's the melting pot. Like there's so many different people that it's just gonna be. Like that is the natural reaction. If you don't have different people in your life, that is a very hard hitting choice. And I say that with my full chest.
How about you? Do you have any other non-negotiables?
I cannot be friends with anyone that gives me any inkling of romantic feelings. It's not like us hyping each other up, be like, oh, Miguel, you look so good today. It's not that. If they look at me and they're like, oh, yeah, you're hot, oh yeah, I'd do something with you. Like that's, I gotta, you gotta go. You're messing with my
You,
flow. You're messing
you're
with
messing,
my flow. Like you
you're
really are just
messing with
ruining
my
it.
flow.
Well, because the dynamic is over. I can't like, like when you, me, and Bestie come to my house and we're in PJs and we're just watching
We're all
TV,
cuddled up
we're
on your bed.
lounge. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I can't do that with you, homie, and you can't do it with my friends because you're weird. My friends are hot. I don't want you around them. Creepy.
I think I agree with that. Let me see how I feel about that. I understand that you can't. I understand that you can't help who you like, and you can't help who you know. If you got feelings, you got feelings.
Yeah, if it develops, it's different. That's a conversation. It can be worked out, so on and so forth. But if you go into a friendship thinking that you can obtain something more, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. At that point, you're only getting so far. I respect that, especially if you know that I have a partner. If you know that I got a pookie butt, and suddenly you want to be a weirdo, gotta go. And to add to that, if you are weird towards my partner, if you're weird towards my other friends, my partner, or my sister, it's over. It's over. It's so over. No. You're a hater. Hey, you're a hater.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. If you don't blend into my world, there's no way you can be a part of my world. So I'm okay with having different friend groups. Like I have a friend group that is in another state and I go visit them for like a geeky, nerdy vibe. I don't intertwine like you. I'll never put you in that situation because that you guys wouldn't mend as well. But they look at you and they're like, "Oh my god, what a great person! I'm so glad they're your friend," so on and so forth. Like that's okay. My friends don't have to be friends with each other. They don't even have to like each other. Those are two separate things. But if you come in and your angle is to be a hater so that you can somehow replace them or make them uncomfortable or try to convince me that they're a bad person or I shouldn't be friends with them, that's
Mm-hmm.
weirdo
Mm-hmm.
behavior. We're
Immediately.
adults. This is not a sandbox, bitch. Like, get it together.
I got a question for you. When did you learn that you're not the type to mix your friend groups? Or have you always been that way?
I have not always been that way.
Okay, when
I
did you figure that out?
probably later in my 20s because I was someone who mixed my friend groups. I put all my friends together. I was like the type of person like my mom's house was the friend house. Like everybody came over to my house to hang out. So I would just invite everybody and put them in that, category of like, oh, we're all gonna hang out. Even so, like perfect example, I was just talking about the friend that's in another state. I brought one of my friends there, and the two people that I consider close friends didn't get along at all. We're in a different state. I can't just be like, okay, we're gonna go and I'll see you next time. Like these are planned. Like that we were there for 4 days. So the tension was insane. And I was like, okay, this is not a problem for me because I love this person and I love this person. We cannot put them together because they vie for my attention in a odd way. Not that they're like obsessed or anything like that, but like this is my
Yeah,
time,
it's just a
especially
weird combo of
yeah,
people to put
it's a
together.
weird combo. Yeah, so I kind of noticed it with that. All my friends are from different places, and that's because I move around a lot. You know what I mean? I love to live in a different state. I love to live in a different country. So that happens.
The reason I'm asking is because that's a lesson that I just learned. I used to be the kind of person to mix all my friend groups, and I'm learning that that's not the case. That's not the case. And not only because I don't think that they'll get along, if anything, they do get along, but I need to have different friends for different things. I need there to be a separation. With some of my friends, I want to go out. With other friends, I want to take to my grandma's house. And sometimes all the intermingling just causes chaos, and I can't do it. I can't do chaos. I think that's what I'm looking for, honestly, is for friends. I can't be in a friend group where there's too much chaos. And the minute that I group everybody together, yeah, people start getting a little crazy. It gets to be a little too much.
Yeah, no, and I think there are people for different things. I have a group of people that I like to just vibe with. I have a group of people that I like to work with. I have a group of people I like playing board games with. There are tons of friends that I will not sit down and play D&D with. That's not happening. You'll cause me so much sadness. But I still love you, okay? Like I will love you and it's also like a huge thing. I won't travel with some of my friends. I'm not getting on an 18-hour flight with some of y'all. Some of y'all, the largest we're traveling to is maybe DC. You can meet them at the large function when I get married. when I have a large birthday party. You can meet some of my friends there. That's a-okay. But no, we're not mingling.
I learned I also don't like to be the center point. I feel like I know too much.
Oh, because then you get everything. You get everything, especially if they start dating or they start having like issues. Then everybody goes to Miguel, Miguel, Miguel. This is this. They said this. Did you hear this? And you're just like,
It's information overload. I can't do it. I
I
can't do
agree.
it.
No,
And
absolutely.
no, I don't have the bandwidth for it.
Sometimes you're letting go of friends, you're figuring out how friend dynamics happen, and now you can make new friends. That's like a thing. Like people are so afraid to let go of people, and I'm like, there's millions of people in the world. You can get to know someone new. You can create new memories. Like that's okay.
That's actually my goal for 2026 is to make new friends. Last year, I was not in a position where I was open. I felt betrayed by too many friends. I felt very overwhelmed by all of those relationships. And I kind of shut myself off. Last year was my solo era. And even though I did make two really good friends, which shout out to y'all, I mostly was closed off to it. So this year, I'm trying to open up a little bit. I'm trying to affirm myself. I'm trying to be conscious. I'm trying to be mindful. I'm trying to make some room to make new friends. Let go of the old ones, make some space for the new ones.
For the last 2 years, I've had some crazy things happen to me. I had to focus on myself. There was like no option really. And now, what I want for 2026, I need creative friends and I need creative outlets. Like, I really want more people who like just create. I want artsy friends. I don't think I've ever actually had that. And as an adult, I really, really want that. I need more of that in my life. And I feel like even just doing this podcast makes me feel like I want to be surrounded with people who are just creative in their own right.
I think that's also part of growing up, right? Is like returning to source and like basically being who you were in middle school, but as an adult. And when I was in middle school, I was friends with the artsy kids. I was friends with a bunch of freaks and geeks, and they were all artsy, and it was a great time. And I think obviously as we get older and we mold ourselves into all of these different people to try to fit in, you just kind of get lost along the way, and then you start making friends with people who maybe don't even match and they're not compatible. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm realizing like we actually don't have a lot in common, and I would love to make friends with people who do have things in common with me and like the things that I like. And even if they don't like the things that I like, that they maybe open doors to new things. The friends that I've made more recently, they perform, or they're comedians, or they're drag queens, or they just do something. They just do something that even if I'm not immersed in that culture, I can learn something from them.
There is a passion that comes out as you get older. There is a passion that if you don't allow to feed, if you don't allow to come out, if you keep it dormant, you'll lose. And I think that has a lot to do with who we surround ourselves with. We need community. We're human beings. We need to be surrounded by people in one way or another. And I completely agree. It's definitely like what we had in middle school when we had that child spark in us that comes back out and says, hey, I'm here. I want that. I want to be around people who are nourishing that part of themselves. And yeah, like drag queens, painters, singers, comedians, for sure. The person who performs on the street. Like, I used to pierce my skin and hang off of like wires. I've done things like that. I would like to do more things like that. Bring me back. Put me in the freaks and geeks. Like, come back.
I was following until I got that visual in my brain. Maybe let's not hang from
okay.
piercings, or maybe do.
No, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
I won't yuck
maybe
your
do.
yum. And you know what it is? You know what I'm thinking? Being friends with creative people who are pursuing those passions will really motivate you to be better. And I think that's what it is for me. I just had to write in my journal about this, where I was like, I need friends that inspire me. I need friends who get it. I need friends who make me feel understood, make me feel seen. And obviously that is very bare minimum. But when you are a person who wants to perform, who wants to create, who wants to do all these things, having like normie friends is going to do you a disservice. And I've accepted that. I can't cosplay normie. I need to be around people who are also really comfortable with just being themselves and putting themselves out there in a way, because those are also the people who are going to support me the most. The people who are also pursuing something.
Absolutely, because when you have someone who is maybe more of a traditional human being, they will look at something like content creation or being an artist or a drag queen, and they'll look at it like an audience member. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's
Mm.
fun. That's great. But they're less supportive. And they also don't realize that it's possible for everyone to,
For them to do
you
it
know,
too.
yes, that it's possible for them to pursue it,
You get
whether
me.
that's in a career or as a hobby or just something that really fuels your happiness or your joy. And I need to be around people who look at my podcast or my art, anything that I do, and be like, yes, I see it. I see it in you. I think you're beautiful. I think you're great. And here we go. Because they're also going to support it. And I mean, I don't need all my friends to obviously watch the podcast or whatever, but I need, when I tell them about it, to have that excitement for me like I do for whatever they're going through.
It's really frustrating for me to see maybe one of my friends and know that they have so much like potential and so much creative potential, and maybe even like a secret desire to be a content creator or do stand up or perform or do all these things, but they just don't allow themselves to do it. And so I think when they see other people doing it, there's a layer of jealousy, and I clock it. I can clock it. I can see it. I am very sensitive to
feel
these
it.
things. And listen, I'm dramatic. I am many a things, but rarely am I wrong about those things. Not to be like, a loca. I am a loca. I am a little psychic. But I can feel it. I can sense it. And that gives me eewees, because you have all the potential in you. And I am that kind of friend. I am the kind of friend that is going to push you to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you say that you want to be an actor, well, babe, I want to see you auditioning. If you say that you want to be a comedian and you want to do stand-up, okay, so let's go. Let's do it. When's your show? I
Make
will
me
be
laugh,
there.
bitch.
Right, like tell me a joke. Matter of fact,
Tell me a joke.
tell me a
Yeah.
little joke.
I'm like that too. When I first meet a person, I could just like automatically sense something about them, whether that's positive or negative. And that aspect that's the clearest sign anyone can show. Hater, jealousy, anything like that. And those are normal human emotions. Like, we're all going to feel them, we're all going to get it. But when it comes to having a relationship or a friendship and you're jealous of a person, that's personal. You need to figure out why. And it might be because you want to be more creative, you want to be more passionate. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a superpower. So if you feel jealousy, think about it, because it might help you change your life.
Tap into that. That's what it is. You know what? Maybe I lied. Maybe that is my last non-negotiable. Well, maybe it is negotiable. To a degree, to an extent.
What?
An insecure friend. Maybe we could be friends, but there's a safe distance. Very safe distance. I'm gonna be a bit cautious, because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get all insecure because you're all insecure. Because you're right, jealousy is a very normal emotion, and I think that's one of the things that we have to normalize. Like, we have to normalize being okay with like the darkest parts of ourselves. But if I can feel you projecting that onto me, what is it with me for? Like, why? Why you gotta be a hater?
Has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to
Right.
do with me.
Because if you also want to start a podcast, start it. Why you gotta judge mine? Why you gotta critique mine in a way that is a hater way? If you want to critique me, if it's constructive criticism, cool, I can take it. But you're just being a hater to be a hater, girl. You want to do what I do.
I think the worst part about a friend that is a hater, because I've had these friends before, they just don't like they're friendly in your face, but when you are successful, there's always a way to numb that, like always bring it down. You can't bring me down because I'm not insecure about this. Like, I'm not scared of failing, because great, I can restart and do something else. I am afraid of not doing it. So there is a difference. You can't hate on someone who's not afraid to fail. You can't hate on someone who understands that they're not perfect. That's like,
Yo, you are
that's doing...
spitting bars, bro.
Yeah, it's a disservice to whoever is doing that to themselves, because hate is fueling hate right back at you, girly. That's it. Bottom line.
How do I follow that? You ate with that. You really ate with that. Anyways, I do appreciate you taking the time to give me that advice. As much as I am a know-it-all, you know more. So I appreciate you giving me the advice.
But I'm happy that I could help at all, or anybody who's listening, because I gained some insight too. Those non-negotiables, that's helpful, because I need to make my own list. Like, I need to write that out and get ready to make some friends.
Now, we want to know, what are your non-negotiables? Is there anything we said that you don't agree with? Is there anything you do agree with? Have you had a friendship breakup? Are you about to break up with your friend? If you are the friend that I'm talking about, do you know that this is about you?
And if you are our friend, we love you deeply. Like, truly, thank you so much for putting up with our bullshit.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. Go follow us on everything. If you are a true friend, comment, like, let me know. Let us know what you want us to talk about later.
Did we close the gap? Is there a gap there? Did we close it? We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
So the person who sent you this video wants you to know that you're kind of trifling. You're kind of irritating. It's giving insecure. It's not them, it's you. And so it's over.
You gotta let go, boo. Just say goodbye. They really just don't want you here. They want you to subscribe, but they don't want you in their lives.
My ex-friend, it's over.